It's time to learn how to draw a still life. We'll do this in a series of steps. The first one is very important to get your workspace organized. You need a clear space, so find some sort of table and clean it up fast. Make sure it's perfectly clean, get that last scrap. And then, once you've got that all cleaned off, then set your still life up. Best to put 2 pieces of white paper and center your still life material on to this little diorama. 3 objects are good as long as they're overlapping. Now, determine the dimensions of your drawing. So take a piece of paper and draw a rectangle within the rectangle so you know exactly where your drawing begins and ends. Now finally, light the still life from a single source. That is so important. Choose your material. Sit down and get started. Where to start? Not sure? I'll tell you. Look at the still life. Then imagine it just in the tones of black and white. Then think of it as if there's a grid over it, and that way you can position your still life objects in relation to one another. Now what we're going to do, because we're working with chiaro scuro, light and dark, is we'll start off with a midtone, and then we'll start very loosely sketching in our still life objects. Notice how I use my pencil, putting it either vertically or horizontally to see, for example, where the apple's top meets the bowl, where the second bowl is in relation to the first bowl, the spaces between them. And use your eraser to perfect, to refine. Now, instead of allowing merely line to define your forms, you've lit it from a single source, so be consistent. Erase where you see the light hitting your object. Add darks, a whole myriad of darks, a whole range of dark tones for your dark tones. And gradually build things up, adding, subtracting, until it looks right, and make sure to include the cast shadows. All right, let's get started.